Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuznuz here, and in this video I'm going to talk about some items that I recently noticed are crashing big time and what this might mean for RuneScape and some things that are coming on the horizon. Now I recently had to find out about some of these items the hard way, so you'll see that tragic story here too. Make sure you subscribe because 70% of you aren't, and at my current rate I'll get the YouTube play button in only around 7 years based on my current pace. So if you want to help me get that before I hit my midlife crisis, hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's get into this video, guys. So this all essentially started after one lucky hour I had at Karapek. I'm sure some of you saw, but if you didn't see the video, I was doing Karapek with my friends and we decided we were going to do free-for-all since one of my friends was a hardcore Ironman. So basically that means whoever gets a drop could keep it. I had really never gotten a drop at Karapek before other than wrist wraps, so honestly I was expecting absolutely nothing. But that day I was blessed by the RNG gods and got a fractured armadyl symbol, which I notably freaked out about. It was a huge drop going for around 1.3 billion GP, and that's what it was when I got it. I was stoked, but I decided I'm gonna leave that in my loot tab. I have this thing where I like to keep loot tabs even to my own detriment. I don't know, there's something about seeing a loot tab pile up and more loot come in that is just a great thing about RuneScape. I digress. I decided I would sell this later or maybe try to complete a staff myself. Well, a short 3 or 4 weeks later, not too long, I decided I'd price check it again, and for some reason it was going for 900 mil, which means I had lost around 400 mil GP by just letting this drop sit in my bank for less than a month. At this point, I was super confused and started looking up the FSOA price, and yes, FSOA, which was going for around 3.5 bill just 2 months ago, is now going for almost under max cash. You can almost just straight up go and buy it on the GE, which is crazy, but I guess that isn't a bad thing. It's one, if not the most powerful weapon in RuneScape, so why has it dropped so much? I talked to a few friends, and through people learning and new items coming in, Karapek has become a lot easier to kill. I remember on release it was extremely hard and only my friends that were really skilled at PVM could do it, let alone solo it. Now, even people who aren't super skilled like myself have learned how to kill him in groups still for a chance at those FSOA pieces, and the Bow of the Last Guardian I've seen some videos on and is absolutely stupid good there since Zamrock was released. So all this stuff makes kind of sense why the FSOA would crash, but this got me thinking, have any other items crashed? I haven't really been paying too much attention, haven't made any big huge purchases lately, so how are the other items doing? So this got me thinking. I made a video around a year ago after the golden party hat hunt came out, and I talked about the effects it had on the economy, essentially being like a golden stimulus check that everyone, even the newbiest accounts, were getting a free few hundred mil for participating in this event if they decided to sell their party hat. It was kind of a wealth transfer. The people buying up the party hats were most likely merchers, and the people selling them were most likely newer players just trying to make a little bit of money. So the money from the merchers went to the normal players just selling the party hats that they got. So this wasn't really creating any new money, it was more of transferring new money between people. So now the lower level newbier accounts that needed gear for PVM now had a big boost in cash. Think of it like all the billionaires decided to go and give us a few $1,000s and now we're going out to spend them. Pretty much what happened with the stimulus check, but just with the government. So I decided to look at that video and compare the prices to now. So if we look a year later, prices have actually settled back down again. So back then they went up because everyone was getting new wealth, but now they're going back down. So for instance, EOF was going for like 380 mil back then. Today it's at 280 mil for about 100 mil decrease. Cinderbane gloves back when the golden party hat hunt was happening were 128 mil. Yes, 128 mil for Cinderbane gloves less than a year ago. They're now 68 mil, almost dropping in half. Praisal Codex was over 900 mil back then and is now down to 600 mil. Items that got propped up by the new wealth transfer from the golden party hat are now falling kind of back down to reality as that big influx is gone. Now as more people learn harder bosses, as new things are added like Animate Dead, Crypt Bloom, Bow of the Last Guardian that make harder bosses a bit easier, some items are just going to go down in price. But what if I told you we could have an event kind of similar to the golden party hat coming soon? Or this event has kind of already happened. So with Fresh Start Worlds, I know what you're all thinking. Yes, the servers will close in 2023 and the accounts will be switched over to the main servers, which means all the items and stuff gotten from Fresh Start Worlds are going to be swapped over to the main servers, and you're thinking this is going to cause an economic crisis in RuneScape. Now for me, when I look at Fresh Start Worlds and people grinding on there, I don't see it as a huge economic issue when I first look at it. So like, if you think about somebody on Fresh Start Worlds and they're, skilling or whatever, they might be on an alt account doing different things, gaining money. They could be doing that same exact thing on the main server. There's really no difference, but there is a slight difference, and that is all the buffs that Jagex added in. So I was on stream the other day and people were telling me about this. So I believe there's a double drop chance. Now, based on the wiki, it seems like November 7th, it was released a 20% chance to double monster drops. Now, correct me if I'm wrong because I do not play Fresh Start Worlds and I haven't tried it at all, but does this mean that you can essentially get a 20% chance to double any boss drop? So essentially you could go to Karapek and get double Karapek fracture step of armadyl drops. If so, that is kind of crazy. That kind of increases the GP per hour at bosses by, well, essentially 20%. So I could see that, if a bunch of people decided to camp a certain boss on Fresh Start Worlds and then got a ton of drops, double the drops they would normally get, I could see it maybe affecting things a little, but you got to think for every person there is doing Karapek in Fresh Start Worlds, there's probably 50 people doing Karapek on the main game, which might balance out. You might think, oh, somebody's getting double drops on Fresh Start Worlds, but then on the main game, there were like 10 times that amount of Karapek drops coming in from all the hundreds of people that are camping him. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm not an economist here. I do have a business degree, but I only had to take like 2 or 3 economics classes, and I got like C's or B's, and I'm going to be honest, I don't remember shit. But other than all these drops that are coming in to RuneScape that could maybe affect the economy once everything is switched over, what about the money that's being transferred by people actually getting the inverted skill capes? It's kind of maybe similar to the golden party hat in a way. So for instance, maybe somebody that isn't a huge PVMer that doesn't have much money goes on Fresh Start Worlds and gets a 99 in agility. So they get a 99 in agility, and then they end up selling that cape, that inverted cape, for like 2 bill, and then their main account all of a sudden has 2 bill to buy a PVM gear. That is kind of interesting. It's similar to the golden party hat, but probably on a smaller scale. Something else I thought of real quick that could be interesting. So we have a lot, hopefully, newer players maybe playing Fresh Start Worlds, or people that didn't have great accounts playing Fresh Start Worlds to try to get, better accounts quicker. When those people are done with Fresh Start Worlds and their accounts are transferred, are all of them going to cash out and transfer all their money to their main account? Or maybe there's going to be a lot of them that are like, hey, I have this good account now I want to start PVMing and buying gear and stuff, and that might, cause things possibly to go up in price. So it's really interesting and just shows that most of us are absolutely clueless, including myself, when it comes to this, but I just find it all super interesting, and I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on it. I find this stuff super interesting. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think that more items are going to go down in price? Do you think maybe we'll see a rise in items from the wealth from all the inverted skill capes and stuff? What do you guys think? But seeing as I lost money and seeing as I looked more into this, I thought it was kind of an interesting thing to look at and kind of compare from 8-9 months ago. And yeah, items have changed quite a bit. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Not a super serious video, but a fun one to just look at kind of how things have changed over time. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.